Perfect. Perfect. Welcome to Dirty Fanatics United.
Yo, Falcon Nation, Falcon fans. It is Dirty Fanatics United coming at you live on a Thursday night at 8:30. Pop-up show here for you today to cover some OTAs. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that share. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell if you want to know when DFU goes live. We're a Falcon podcast bringing you Falcon content. We are on the scene with it. Cody, what's going on, brother? It is a Thursday, not Friday, but a Thursday here for DFU. What's been going on, brother?
Not much, man. Just a long work week, ready for. I got to work Saturday, but so this is technically my Wednesday, but we'll take it. We're here to talk Falcon football, and that's always a good thing.
That's right. It's always fun time to talk Falcon football here on the channel. A lot of stuff been going on Twitter as far as Falcon content. Obviously, we have some sad news coming up with no training camp on the hill this year in Flowery Branch. It will be at a high school. I believe the date is the 27th of June at a I forget the name of the high school, man. It's right up the road from Flowery Branch. It's not far from Flowery Branch. I forget the name of it. It'll come to me here in a little while. But sad news there. We will not be in Flowery Branch this year. Cody, that was something we wanted to do here on the channel. We wanted to meet up at Flowery Branch, get some interviews in, get some tape, get some content here for the fans. Cody, your thoughts on not being able to attend Flowery Branch?
Yeah, man, it always sucks when you don't get to go to training camp and just enjoy the time up there. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, it means that our facility is being upgraded. It's good for the players. It sucks for us as fans that we don't get to go, but twice this year. But the one at Mercedes-Benz is always a blast. It's for a good cause too. So definitely, probably won't be at the one at the high school, but we'll definitely be at Mercedes-Benz for sure.
Yes, sir. DFU will be in the building for that first look in the bins. Obviously, the Falcons are heading to Savannah June 1st here in Savannah, very close to home for me. I will be in the building. Philip will be in the building come Saturday, June the 1st. We will be in the Grove in Savannah, Georgia with the Dirty Birds. The riseup tour is also bringing a whole busload of Falcon fans down to Savannah. The venue has sold out, so we are litty down in Savannah, June the 1st. Be sure to stop by. Even if you're not part of the venue, just come by, man. Chat it up with some Falcon content creators. Not only will I be there, One Time for the Fan will be there. Big Country Low will be there. A lot of Falcon content creators headed down to Savannah to talk Falcon football, to visit with Falcon fans. Cody, football is right around the corner, man. OTAs, videos have been dropping. Articles have been released. I've been reading. I'm sure you've been watching videos, been watching interviews. Cody, what's been going on in the Falcon world that you're happy about, bro?
Oh, man. I say there's a lot to be happy about, man. I say 105 days until, we actually get, Falcon football back, man. I say it's counting down every day. It just faster and faster, man. I can't wait till August. I would say, I watched a few interviews today. Watched one with, I think it was Jesse Bates and a few of the guys. It seems, what I'm really excited about is it seems like there's a real team camaraderie going on there.
Right.
A few of the guys talking about, playing basketball together, real light stuff, nothing too heavy. But it's always good when you see teammates, hanging out outside of practice, doing things like that together. I think there was like 9 of them. I know Jesse Bates was one of them. I can't remember who all was playing basketball at the gym after, OTAs and stuff like that. So that's always good to see. And then, one thing I really did like was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Jesse Bates was talking about Coach Raw and the way that he is with players. You get these coaches in that are, will show examples of, where you screwed up in practice. And the coach will be like, I'm not coming after you. I'm not coming after you. And it's just an example, but, he said Coach Raw's mindset is, no, look, I'm coming after you and I'm letting you know what you're doing wrong, but it's not because I'm picking on you or, I'm being, whatever. He goes, I just want you to be better. So, and I love hearing that coming from our head coach, that it's not to call anybody out. It's just because he wants everybody to succeed. So it's awesome that Coach Raw is doing stuff like that already, establishing a culture there. Like he said, he's not here to, restart the culture. He's not here to redo the culture. He's building on the culture that we have. And to me, that's just awesome to hear as a Falcon fan that culture change is coming, man, because honestly, or not really culture change, but a better built culture than what we've had in the last 3 years. So excited to see what that looks like.
It is all good reasons to be excited here. Falcon fans, if you're just tuning in, hit that like button. You heard my man Cody. So much to be excited about when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons. Only OTAs, voluntary practice. And we're getting all this from our head coach, Raheem Morris, the new Genera here in Atlanta. Raheem Morris, the guy that I really, truly believe, Cody, that really will snap the Super Bowl dust here in Atlanta, man. Something that we need. Fans need, man. The franchise needs it, man, to get that Super Bowl appearance and finally get that dub, man. I believe Raheem Moore, Pat Robinson, Jimmy Lake. I think this is a squad that does it, man. I really feel keyed in. Like this is, I don't want to say this, and Falcon fans may dive down my throat here in the chat, but I really feel that 2016 vibe with the Dan Quinn era. When Dan Quinn came in, the hype was there. Raheem Morris brings the hype to the building. Raheem Morris brings that. It was brotherhood with Dan Quinn, and Raheem Morris really brings that. Continuity is what we'll use here on the channel for Raheem. He just brings it just brings a whole 360 when it comes to Raheem Morris and this new coaching staff. I'm excited to see it, Cody. You mentioned it before the podcast, something that I'm actually excited to see as well. I watched videos on Twitter. Eddie Goldman, a guy that has stuck around for 3 years, retired, came back last year, joined the squad, retired before OTA started. This year, voluntary OTAs, Eddie Goldman is out on the field. Cody, your thoughts about Eddie Goldman potentially making a spot here on this D-line?
Yeah, man, I would say that'd be huge. Just from what I've read, it sounds like he's an absolute beast out there during OTAs, and that he's, it's not even one of those things. Will he make it? Is where are we going to put him on the defensive line? Or how many reps is he going to get during the season? Just because it looks like he's doing really, really well out there in OTAs. So I'm definitely excited, especially if we don't get a Calais Campbell back. You get a younger Eddie Goldman in who can kind of fill in that role. He may not be. I don't want to say he's not as good as Calais Campbell because I really don't know how they compare.
If Eddie Goldman is anything like he was at the Chicago Bears, at the age he is now, I believe it's 38, something like that. He's on up there in the age. Eddie Goldman, that would be a steal to have.
Yes.
That Chicago Bear Eddie Goldman here in Atlanta. You got David Onamata, obviously Eddie Goldman, a huge run stuffer when it comes to the run game. David Onamata, one that ranks high in the top 10 in the league at run stopping. Obviously, the Falcons was a top 10 run stop defense. Didn't give a touchdown up to a running back until week 8, I believe it was, after Grady Jarrett went down. So actually, Grady Jarrett went down week 8. We didn't give a touchdown up till week 10. So, guys, that is a stat line we cannot forget about. I've seen the Pat McAfee show. I've seen the diss that he said about how we should have drafted edge. We shouldn't have went Michael Penix Jr., blah, 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 blah. But I've also seen the stats. And to me, stats talk. Last year we had a D-line. And guess what, guys? We came out of the draft as the number 1 most improved defensive line here in the NFL. Guys, this speaks. Cody, obviously, Eddie Goldman, a big name. Obviously, somebody else that we want to talk about here, Brandon Delorius. I have huge expectations for this kid. That's another thing to be excited about here in Atlanta. But there's one guy in particular that I am very, very excited about, and that is Washington, the receiver, the late round draft pick, the guy that I've called that could be the sneaky pick, the steal of the draft, my steal of the draft, Mr. Washington himself. Getting high praise, says that he already has a high chemistry status with Michael Penix in just reps. Obviously, some receivers have went down with a couple of injuries here at OTAs, and guess who's shining? Washington, the rookie, the late round draft pick rookie, Washington. Cody, does Washington potentially make a way on this roster?
Yeah, man. Even if he doesn't wind up being, if our wide receiver core gets healthy. And I think you've got to find a way to get this guy on here, whether it's special teams or, I know we've got special teams like Mooney is an excellent returner, but
McLeod.
yeah, I mean, but with, like you said, just the way that he's progressing is something to be excited about. It's always exciting when you see these rookies, make these leaps and bounds, especially late round guys that look like they can make impacts, like Grady Jarrett, man. I mean, fifth round guy, and he has been the absolute staple for our defense since John Abraham's been gone. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I could absolutely see him making the roster, even if it's not in the wide receiver room, somewhere on special teams, because when, I think this year is when the new kickoff, I can't remember if they're testing or they're going. So it is going full. So, I mean, man, it just speed kills, man. I was going to say, and the more speed that you have, especially in that, I could absolutely see him making this team.
Cody, I did not mean to make you small, brother. Technical difficulties over here. I'm choosing different layouts. Real quick, man, roll call to the chat section. Let's get to it. Dwayne Ruffin in the chat said, yes, sir. We back. Rise up. Rise up. Mr. Dwayne Ruffin from Baxley, Georgia, brother. Much love for the support here you have for DFU. DSGB Hall in the chat said, DFU. What it do, fellas? DSGB Hall, man. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Hit that like button. Share it to another Falcon fan. Diehards here in the chat, Mr. Cody. Carrie here on the live said, Falcons fam, checking in. Mama in the chat said, happy Thursday, guys. Can't wait for Savannah June 1st. Rise up. Another diehard here in the chat. Mama, much love to you. Appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button. Brandon Keeler, another diehard DFU fanatic. What's good, fellas? Happy Friday Eve. I smell a special vibe for what's about to take place here in Atlanta. MacTown Dirty in the chat said, what's up, fellas? MacTown. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Hit that like button. Glad to have you here on the channel. Wallace Smith, another diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, said, what's going on, fam? Wallace, appreciate you tuning in, brother, on this Thursday night. Cody, diehards here in the chat, man. Let's jump into the OTA talks. And I'll start off with an article that I read today. Something that when I read, man, it just made me even more excited for this season here. I'll start from the top. And as I said, I do not know who wrote this article, but I believe it's from fanrecap.com is who created this article. So I'll just start from the top and kind of give a summary. It says the Atlanta Falcons are making headway in their offseason program with their 5th organized team activity, OTAs, obviously. Wrapping up on Tuesday, this session marked the second opportunity for media personnel to catch a glimpse of the team's progress. The OTAs, which are voluntary, has had an impressive participation rate for the team, even though some players were absent due to injuries. The majority, including key figures like defensive tackle Grady Jarrett, key injuries as well as his ACL. Grady Jarrett on the sidelines here for voluntary OTAs. Bijan Robinson, who is recuperating from an ankle injury, was present in the facility. Cody, real quick before we get to this next page on this article, the Bijan injury, bro, this is news to me. I found out about it probably a week ago. Thought he was working out in OTAs. Haven't seen the videos of Bijan at OTAs. Cody, did you know about this ankle injury?
I didn't hear anything really about it, so I'm assuming it's nothing too serious. It's probably, it's one of those things. Is he probably a little sore, playing, as many games as he did going from, college to pro. I think it's probably more precautionary than anything else. I'd rather him tear that ankle up in regular season than voluntarily practicing. So, I mean, but it's good that he's there, man, because, Bijan knows he's a star here in Atlanta, and he could very easily be sitting. Yeah, exactly. Ooh. He very easily could be sitting, at home doing, other things, but it's good that he's there. It shows what a professional that he is going into his second year. So I'm not too worried about it. It is what it is. Football's a rough sport, man. It is a rough sport, and your body will hurt. So. Miss
Christy Lewis in the chat said, it's Falcon Friday's Eve, man. One more day until it is the weekend. I'm off Monday, so we're going to have us a great family weekend. Possibly a beach trip Monday, man. DFU headed to the beach. Say what? Falcon fans headed to the next page on the article. Obviously, Bijan as well, Cody. I'll tag along with what you said, man. Bijan obviously is a very important key piece of this offense. Raheem Morris. Spoken really, Bijan was one of the first people he reached out to. Bijan was one of the first people that reached out to Kirk. So, I mean, Bijan is a diehard Atlanta player. here in Atlanta.
Sure.
So Bijan there, his year 2 coming into Atlanta, you want him fresh. You want him 100% when it comes to actual training camp. So yes, sit him down, let him heal up, and unleash the beast, man, when it comes week 1 against the Steelers. Headed to the next page here on the article, it says notably missing. This is our injury list here, Cody. Rondale Moore, possibly receiver 2 here in Atlanta, is it was a disclosed reason. There was no actual reasoning of why Rondale Moore was not there for practice. It says A.J. Terrell, due to a minor hamstring injury, that same lingering hamstring injury with Terrell still seems to be hanging around. Obviously, Raheem Morris did talk about how it was, he emphasized that it was only precautionary. It had nothing to do with that he couldn't perform. Obviously, man, like we said, you want to take it easy. It's voluntary practice. We want these guys 100% when it comes to week 1, man. We got to be a healthy team this year. Next article, man, that really made me save this article. The headline for this, Cody, Kirk Cousins leaves a mark. Kirk Cousins already here in OTAs has the media talking, says Kirk Cousins leaves a mark. Says the buzz this offseason has been centered around the quarterback position for the Falcons. Obviously, drafting Michael Penix Jr. in the first round. Everybody covers the quarterback here in Atlanta. It says Kirk Cousins' arrival added an extra layer of excitement. Cousins has received praise for his leadership qualities and precisions. It also says how the running back Carlos Washington Jr. and the perfectly placed tight end Kyle Pitts pass. This is my bad. I skipped the line. It says he made several remarkable passes, including a precise throw to running back Carlos Washington Jr. and a perfectly placed pass to tight end Kyle Pitts, which caught everyone's attention. I'm assuming that's the pass on Twitter that was going around. Everybody was excited about there for a while. It says the 35-year-old lively and professional demeanor has resonated well within the team, magnifying the anticipation for what he can bring to the Falcons. Cody, obviously, we're big supporters of Kirk Cousins. Was one of the first guys that I wanted when that was quarterbacks that was available. We talked about it one time for the fan. Before the Super Bowl started, Kirk Cousins was my number 1. The money was an issue for me, but we made it happen. Kirk Cousins is here in Atlanta for at least, I'd say, you have a good season, you got Kirk Cousins for 3 years. 3 years solid of Kirk Cousins if he continues to play great. Michael Penix Jr. to learn to mold behind Kirk Cousins. Cody, your thoughts of the leadership role, already getting the praise that Kirk Cousins is OTAs, day 5 of OTAs, and he's already making headlines.
Yeah, man, I would say it's always big when your quarterback's being talked about, because I mean that obviously means that that he's doing things right. I've seen him on several, they talk about him on several different shows. I've seen him talk about on Pat McAfee. They're talking about him on ESPN. I've seen him. So obviously Kirk Cousins is doing the right things now. And he is, Kirk has come out and said, look, like if the season started today, I'm ready to make a Super Bowl run. So I think it's awesome that Kirk has brought that back to Atlanta, because man, we haven't seen this since Matt Ryan.
Exactly.
I know it's only been it's only been 3 years in a grand scheme of things. That's not that long, but it has felt like eternity for Falcon fans. To our quarterback, not our quarterback being talked about how accurate and what a leader he is, instead of, oh, did you see this guy on Thursday night in Carolina throw the ball upside down with his eyes closed? I'm so glad that our quarterback is in the news for being a leader and being, looking healthy and looking ready to play football instead of looking like a clown, So it's nothing but good. It's everything that Kirk's doing is great, from the players, tweeting, being like, Kirk saying, man, I feel like a dad out here. And all the guys are like, well, because you are Kirk, so, I mean, they're looking up to the guy, it's like, this is the dude that we're going to look up to as like the dude.
Our leader.
This is
captain
our guy,
of the
man.
team.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins here in Atlanta, a big impact. Obviously, Kyle Pitts, 1 year with a dominant Matt Ryan here in Atlanta, puts over 1,000 yards. Hasn't seen that since. Hasn't came close to that since. Put up 500 yards this season with a bridge quarterback in Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke. Rough season for the Atlanta Falcons last year, finishing 7-9, I believe it was, that we do every single year here in Atlanta. But I hope to see changes coming. Obviously, Raheem Morris, Kirk Cousins, Drake London to hit that 1K this year, man. That's my next question for you, Cody. Kirk Cousins to Drake London this year, man. How big of an impact will we see? Obviously, I did a podcast last night one time for the fan, and I told these guys last night, man, Kirk Cousins will change the game for Atlanta. Kirk Cousins will come in Atlanta and put up 30 points on the scoreboard like it's nothing. And Falcon fans will be in their seats with their mouths wide open because it's been 3 to 4 years, Cody, since we've seen 30 points put up on the scoreboard. Cody, your thoughts of how explosive this offense could be?
Man, I'll say, God, man, it's a, like we've said so many times on the show, man, it's going to be pick your poison. We have got so much speed in that wide receiver room. We were just talking about Washington. Clearly, you got Drake London, you've got Kyle Pitts, you've got Bijan who can catch balls out of the backfield, you've got Mooney, you've got Moore, you've got all these guys that can just flat out take the top off of defenses. Do not be surprised.
The new guy, Cody, that's going to be wearing number 11 here in Atlanta. I forget his name. I should have had that pulled up for tonight. But the new guy here in Atlanta, I heard he's a speedster as well, Cody.
Yeah, I know who. I saw that too. I didn't catch his name. I started to read it and then I got interrupted at work. But I was to say, do not be surprised, Falcon fans, if Drake London puts up 1,500 yards and has got 12 touchdowns on the year, 13 touchdowns on the year, or even if he puts up 1,001, do not be surprised when he's got double-digit touchdowns from Kirk. It is going to be unreal this year. Right. I'm looking forward to it.
Offense is going to be fun again here in Atlanta, man. No more hoping the defense bails you out. Obviously, last year, a top 15 defense, hoping to continue that here with the new defense coordinator, Jimmy Lake. DSGB Hall in the chat said, I was at a camp about a month and a half ago. That is correct, sir. I remember seeing that on Facebook. Says Bijan ankle was fine. It's obviously something small. Falcons are probably just keeping him healthy, keeping him on the wraps. No need to hurt the top draft pick here in Atlanta, the stud, Bijan Robinson. Cody, your thoughts, obviously you've already gave your thoughts about Bijan's ankle, but could you just clarify here on the comment?
Yeah, no, I would say, like I said, I think it's something small. It's probably, like I say, he just got done, playing more games than he ever has in a single season. Almost broke Tyler Allgeier's, rookie rushing Falcon record. And we've seen him, man. I mean, how many times have we seen, the Mercedes-Benz sky cam that's looking down on him and you just watch him absolutely just
crazy.
Dude, he snatches people's ankles like nobody's business. I'm sure it's just precautionary. I'm not worried about Bijan's ankle. I think if it was a bigger issue, it'd be probably, it would probably be a lot more quiet. There probably wouldn't have been. I mean, my thing is that it probably wouldn't even disclosed anything about it, and you wouldn't even have heard about it. But since it's minor, they're like, yeah, we're just, we're watching his ankle. That's why he's not out. So, I mean, but again, I want a healthy Bijan week 1 against the Steelers instead of, 95% Bijan, breaking ankles at OTAs, so.
Thanks. My boy T. Will in the chat said, let's go Falcons. T. Will in the house. What's up, DFU? Chase and Cody. T. Will, man, appreciate you tuning in, brother. Hit that like button. I'm sure you already have, man. We talking Falcon football. He said, what's up, DSGB Hall? Giving his shout-outs here in the chat to everybody that's tuning in tonight on the channel, man. Much love to everybody that is here. Brandon Keeler in the chat said, I've seen some reports that say Atlanta could go 14-3 and grab the number 1 overall seed in the NFL. Man, speak about a dream, bro. That 14-3 season here in Atlanta, first year with Kirk Cousins, all these new weapons, man. I can see it happening. This is where the 14-3 comes into play. Okay, week 1 to week 6. Can you survive that tenor there, 6 games, and only lose 3 games? Cody, your thoughts about that? Chat, let me know. Can you survive week 1 to week 6 with only 3 losses here? Because I really truly believe if you make it out of that game span with at least possibly 3 L's. Okay, you take 3 L's throughout that span. You obviously beat the Saints. You're coming into your division now. You have the Panthers. You had the Bucks. But if you come out of that 6-game span 3-3, I think you're fixing to take a run, and you take a run at the perfect time in the season with Kirk Cousins, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Cody, your thoughts about the 14-3, the week 1, through week 6 span? Your thoughts?
Like I said last time, we did our show, man, I fully expect us to be 6-0 to start the season. There's no reason that we can't be. Kansas City does not scare me. They've got the whole Taylor Swift effect thing, but you're coming to Atlanta. We're not in Kansas City. We always play Kansas City well. I know people are going to bash Kirk. Well, Kirk prime time versus the Eagles is okay, cool. That was while he was in Minnesota. He's wearing red and black now. It's a new start, new everything. So I'm not even looking at that. I think if you do get out of that first 6 weeks, honestly, I only really see it as if we're going to be like grind. I guess if I'm going to be like if I'm taking my Falcon glasses off and I'm looking at it, there's only 2 losses that I could possibly see there. Unfortunately, Kansas City and possibly Philadelphia.
That Cody, let's chat about that real quick before we get too deep into this schedule. Second week 2, you come off of week 1 against your old ex-coach. He's obviously the offense coordinator now in the Steelers. You got Mike Tomlin, one of the best coaches in the NFL to ever do that. Last night, I called week 1 a dog walk because I truly believe week 1 could be a dog walk. I've seen what Arthur Smith done here in Atlanta. I've seen what he's going to bring to the table week 1. He's got 1 receiver. You got Pickens. You got A.J. Terrell. You stick him on the go route. You shut down Najee Harris. You get pressure on Russell Wilson. The crowd is going stupid. The Falcons dog walk the Steelers week 1. Then you got week 2, Philadelphia Eagles heading into Philadelphia. It's obviously their atmosphere, their type of style. They like playing under the lights, Cody. They're in Philadelphia. They've done it plenty of times last year, the year before. The Eagles, week 2, coming out. Sunday Night Football, your first primetime game. Cody, could this be the game that you see the true effect of this offense? Or could this be the game where fans are lost for words? You're 1-1. You say you lose week 2, you're 1-1. Falcon fans are losing their shit in the comment section. Cody, what do you think about week 2?
I think week 2 is going to be real interesting. I think this is where obviously this is going to be our first early season test against Philadelphia. Now, this is the positives I'm taking out of this. Yes, it's on, in prime time. Yes, Philadelphia likes playing prime time. Yes, it's in Philadelphia. But here's my thing. This is week 2. So hopefully we're still healthy, which we should be. It's week 2. We shouldn't have, key guys out. Number 2, we're in Philadelphia in the early part of the season. It's not, 34 degrees outside. It's not snowing. It's not raining. It should be a comfortable atmosphere for us there, even though they're not in a dome. So weather hopefully is not going to be a factor this early in the season, being in Philadelphia. Now, this game I think is going to be tight because I think the Eagles defense is supposed to be pretty okay. I don't think that they're supposed to be anything like what they were when they played defense, when they won the Super Bowl. But I have a feeling, they're going to be decent. And we always play each other tough for whatever reason. It seems like Philadelphia is just one of those teams that we kind of struggle with, but we play them tough. So, but they also play us tough no matter how bad they are. Like that Sunday night game, 4 years ago, whatever it was. They weren't that great. They were hurt, but good Lord, they kept finding a way, and it took Matt Ryan to Julio on that little screen pass out there, and him, doing Julio and Matt Ryan things for us to win that game. But I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be close. We're definitely not dog walking Philadelphia like I think we're going to dog walk, like you said, Pittsburgh. But if we lose that game, it is something late, and they're in field goal range, man. That's the only way I see them beating us week 2 is it's going to be close and physical. Definitely close and physical.
It's definitely going to be a very physical game in Philadelphia. The Eagles are pretty much the Georgia Bulldogs defense from 2 years ago. They got a pretty stacked team there in Philadelphia, but I do believe we can come out with the win. Headed to the chat real quick before we get ready to wrap the show here. Terry Wilson in the chat said, hell yeah, we can. Wallace Smith in the chat said, and I agree that Kurt was the right pick to sign him in free agency because he fits the scheme and he's familiar with some of the install of the offense already. Exactly. He's a 4,000-yard passer. He's done it multiple years in the league. Last year was going to be one of his best years until he took the Achilles injury. My boy T. Will said, damn, Cody is getting his Eric Parker on. Let's go. Eric Parker, Cody, I'll fill you in on the joke. Eric Parker is Terry Wilson's brother, and Eric Parker is always saying that Falcons are going to dog walk everybody. It's going to be a
Everybody,
blowout
yeah.
every game. Yeah, man. So we all got a little bit of Eric Parker in us.
Oh yeah.
Terry Wilson said dog walk. Josh Gilman in the chat, man. Josh Gilman, appreciate you tuning in, brother. He said, no way we dog walk a physical team like the Steelers.
Okay.
I
got something on that.
To each his own, but I will say this, Josh. Give me your reason and why. I want to know why. Why do you think that? And we'll talk about it, man. That's what the podcast is here for, man. We like talking with Falcon fans. Obviously, give us your point of view on it. Cody, continue on, bro.
My thing is why are they physical? Like you said, okay, so you got TJ Watt. Congratulations, he can't stay on the football field. So this isn't the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3-4 years ago when they've got Big Ben and they've got a healthy TJ Watt. It's not that Steelers team, man. They've Justin Fields is a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, man. That tells you where the Pittsburgh Steelers are right now. I don't think
and not only that, Cody, you got them coming off with a fresh OC, a fresh quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows what Steelers are going to be this year. They don't even know who's starting at quarterback. I know they've said Russell Wilson, but I've heard rumors that Justin Fields could get snaps this year in the Arthur Smith scheme. So I think Arthur Smith takes the talent that he had here in Atlanta and converts it over to the Steelers and runs that franchise down. Let's be honest, guys. Now that Smith is no longer here in this franchise, Derrick Henry made Arthur Smith. I don't care what anybody says. Derrick Henry got Arthur Smith a head coaching job in the NFL. Cody, please continue.
No, and that's exactly it. I mean, Arthur Smith is going over to Pittsburgh, and he doesn't have half the talent that he had here in Atlanta. Now, yes, his quarterback is Russell Wilson, and that's obviously an upgrade over, Desmond Ridder, Marcus Mariota, and Tyler Heineke. But this is also Russell Wilson getting on in age. This is not Legion of Boom Russell Wilson. I don't care what anybody says about, well, look at what he did his second year with the Broncos. Okay, cool. But other than Chiefs, who did the Broncos play? They played a weak schedule.
What did the Broncos win, though?
Honestly, and that's exactly it.
They didn't even win their division, I don't think.
No, they didn't win. The Kansas City Chiefs won their, that division. I was going to say, and so everybody wants to talk, well, Denver went on like that. They lost like the first, however many games, and then they went on this. Okay, cool, but who did they beat? Who did they beat? And we're not, and again, I know we're not talking about, Denver. We're talking about, Pittsburgh. But other than TJ Watt, man, tell me who's on the Steelers defense that scares you, because I can't think of anybody. I'm not a big Pittsburgh Steeler fan, and I don't watch their games, but I couldn't tell you who else plays on their defense. And I'm going, so you double team TJ Watt, and then what? Then who's coming after Kirk?
You just got so many weapons on that offense side of the ball this year, man. I think Falcon fans have seen what they've seen the past 4 years, and they're content with what they've seen. But I really think 2016 vibes are back. I think Kirk Cousins comes in here. We're throwing for over 3,000 yards this year. We're putting up over 30 points a game. Falcon fans, let me know what you think your score prediction will be for week 1 in the Benz against the Steelers at home. Obviously, Steelers travel well. Falcon fans, we need to pack out the Benz. Be there, be in your seats, be loud. Wallace Smith in the chat said, I think we can win the game against the Eagles because we're catching them early because they have a new OC and DC. Also, I don't think we have never beat them in their house. So, exactly, that they've never beat us in our house is what that comment's saying there. We beat them last time in our house. Well, they did beat us week 1 opening season. It was pretty bad in the Benz against Arthur Smith. That was his home opener. But I think it's get back season, man. It's get back season, and it starts off with the Steelers, and then it rolls over to the Eagles in their house. Brandon Keeler in the chat said, Cody, bro, you're an excellent color analyst. Keep it going. You're doing excellent, bro. Appreciate the love over there, Brandon Keeler. Hit that share button. Hit that like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We talking Falcon football. Josh Gilman in the chat said, I think we start 1-2, lose to Philly and KC. It's possible. That's a possible outcome. You sit at 1-2 throughout a hard stretch during your schedule. You come off the loss to Philly. I forget who the next opponent is.
Kansas City's week 3.
Kansas City's week 3. Okay, so you got Steelers, Philly, Kansas City, and then week 4. Who is that, Cody?
Week 4 is the Saints.
The Saints. Okay, then that starts that run there. You got the Saints, the Panthers, then the Buccaneers on another Thursday night primetime event. So it's possible, but then you bounce back with the win against the Saints at home. You go 3-2, and then that's when you start your run. It can be that can happen. That can be cool. Josh says Steelers are well coached, rarely beat themselves. We have a new OC at DC. Very true, but they also have a new OC as we covered. Not really sure.
And their
who
new
DC
OC is
is.
Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
And we saw how that worked out for 3 years.
Yeah, no doubt. Brandon Keelan in the chat said, Cody, my man Brandon Faco on the Steelers is legit D-line.
Never heard
we're
of
not
her.
saying the D-line, or we're not saying the Steelers don't have players. We're not saying that. We're just saying we are very excited about what this team is bringing to the table, what the Falcons are bringing here as a franchise coming into the league. I don't see I really don't see us not putting up 28 points a game.
Yeah. Well, and and we'll talk. I'll talk about those first 3 games, man. The only thing that I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not building in excuses right now. This is just facts. The first 3 weeks, you get your home opener, then you're on the road on a Monday night, and then you come back home and you're on a Sunday night. So the only thing that I see hurting us is travel. That's going, home, away, home. But then this team isn't used to playing primetime right now. The last 3 years we've had, I can't think of one primetime game in the last 3 years.
We haven't had one in a while.
Right. So now we're going from no primetime games to having 2 in your first 3 weeks.
I think you got 4 altogether on the schedule too, Cody.
Right. And, luckily the next one isn't until Thursday night against Tampa. Yep. But, that's week 15, and we should have the division wrapped up by then. So I'm not even worried about that Thursday night. So my thing is that's going to be the thing that our team is going to have to overcome is being at home, having that, because the home opener is big for everybody. So it's going to be, it's going to be emotional. It's going to be charged. It's going to be all that stuff. You're definitely, like I said, you're definitely beating the Steelers at home to start. So you're coming off that, and now you have to take that to Philadelphia. And then you have to come home and play the champs. So it's just one of those things. It's like, I'm just hoping that the travels, I think the travel is going to be our biggest battle.
I just want Falcon fans to chat about Falcons like we do about other teams. I want Falcon fans to have faith in the Atlanta Falcons, because I truly believe this is the team that gets us back to the playoffs. I don't see teams coming in the bins this year and dog walking over Falcon plans. I mean, I'm not saying you guys are saying that it's going to be dog walks against the Falcons, but I want fans to be excited about this season. I want to bring the most positivity I can about this season. And that's why I say week 1 could be a dog walk if everything goes in our favor. You obviously have a bull back there in Tyler Algier. Use him against that stout D-line in Pittsburgh. Use Bijan to get out wide. Use Drake London to spread the field. Use Kyle Pitts to hit the vertical. Falcon fans, we have a team. We have a legit team this year. We have a Rondale Moore in the slot. We have a Ray McLeod that can fill the slot. We have an upcoming 6th round draft pick in Washington that could play the slot. Who knows what this season could be here in Atlanta? What if DFU calls it now and the Falcons really take this thing all the way? What if, guys? What if? And that is an if that I'm willing to take, man. I really have faith in this team. I think Kirk Cousins can make it happen, and I believe the weapons we have now can make it happen. Your O-line really hasn't changed much. Obviously, McGarry gets his hate, but he's very, very solid in the run game. He's held up decent numbers last year, and he was actually a PFF top 5 graded tackle last year in the league, and people still hate on him. So Caleb McGarry, man, is very solid. The O-line is solid. I think we're going to be okay this year, guys. I really do. Brandon Keeler in the chat said, guys, excellent job tonight. Got to jump off here and bathe the girls. Hashtag DFU, hashtag rise up, hashtag let's go. Rise up, Brandon. Appreciate you tuning in tonight, brother, for the short time that you could. We appreciate you in the chat. Hit that like button, man. We talking Falcon football. A1 forever in the chat with the emojis. YouTube tripping, not putting up the emojis, but A1, man. Appreciate you tuning in tonight, man. Hit that like button. Terry Wilson said, what's up, Chris? Wallace Smith said, I agree with you, Cody, and I don't see a team coming in our house this season and just beating us down. Facts, Wallace Smith. Me and Wallace and Cody are on the same page, damn it. We're on the same page. That's why we rock.
The wheels fall off, man.
All day, baby. Cody, it has been a 40-minute show here on a Thursday night. Give me your shout-outs for tonight, brother. And once again, thank you for coming on for this pop-up show here on a Thursday night at 8:30.
No, man, I'm always happy to do it. Always happy to talk Falcon football. This is the highlight of my night always when we get to talk about our Dirty Birds. But shout out to everybody that watched. Again on a pop up show on a Thursday night. Shout out to you, Chase, for having a pop up show, man. I will say, we could do one every night, and I'd be down to do it. I don't know how happy it would make my wife, but that's all right. But shout out to everybody that watched. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Guys, keep
388, Cody. 388 on the YouTube, man. We're trying to hit 400 before the end of this month.
I'll say we've got time, guys. I would say today's the 23rd, 7 days. We got 7 days. We got this. Get us to that 400. That way, one time for the fan can hand out Rise Up tour, passes to y'all. Go get y'all some. But thanks for watching and subscribing and liking, guys. Without y'all coming on and watching, there's no reason for us to come do pop-up shows on the internet, and we could do this in private, but we love making content for y'all. We love talking football with y'all, especially about our Falcons. But again, guys, thanks so much. Shout out to the Falcons and everything. Oh, before I forget, shout out to Mr. Arthur Blank. He just got an award, Lifetime Achievement Award for business. Uncle Arthur's the man. I know people, don't, for whatever reason, don't like Uncle Arthur. I love me some Arthur Blank, man. I would say what he does for this city, what he does for this team, the win now attitude that he always has, not just now that he's getting up in years. You can tell this dude loves Atlanta. He loves his football team just like we do. So shout out to Arthur Blank for your lifetime achievement, man. You well earned, well deserved, but always rise up, guys.
Yes, sir, Cody. Much love to you, brother. Thank you for coming on tonight, talking Falcon football here at Dirty Fanatics United pop-up show Thursday night. We talking Falcon football, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody that hit that like button tonight, that hit that share button, shared us to another Falcon fan or family. We appreciate y'all, man. We're at the road to 1K, man. Get us to 400 before the end of this season, before the end of this month, as my boy Cody said, so we can give you away free Rise Up Tour memberships, man. That's an away group that takes Falcon fans on the road, cheap hotel discounts with that group. Also, you're with Falcon fans, so why not travel with Falcon fans with the Rise Up Tour, man? Hit that like button, hit that share, leave a comment. Be sure to subscribe, and if you like what you see here at DFU, man, hit that notification bell so you know when we go live here on the channel, man. It's been a great show here for Dirty Fanatics United. Episode 65 is in the books, man. Thanks to everybody that has tuned in tonight. Shout out real quick to my boy Philip. Philip is busy tonight, wasn't able to come on for the pop-up show. I'm hoping to be live Saturday night here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Hit that like button, man. Hit that follow button. We talking Falcon football. Cody, A-Town down, brother. Peace out, man. Much love.